Well, here we are. Let's raise the white flag and roll out the red carpet at Elland Road. Because honestly, I woke up this morning and I couldn't believe the scoreline. I remember vaguely my wife was up with the little one and she said, are you gonna wake up to do this live stream? And I said, well, I'll go watch the football. And I said, no, I'm really just too tired. And then about an hour later, or about 45 minutes later, she must have woke me again and said, are you going to go watch the game? I was just like, nah, I'm too tired. And I said to her, what's the score? She's like, oh, I'll find out. And she had a look. And she's like, 2-1 to Liverpool. So, alright, okay. Are you going to wake up then or what? No. That's my answer. And sure enough, we get round the rest of the night. I wake up at about 5:30 a.m. It's usually for me. I wake up about that time. And I asked her, I said, I said, I remember you trying to give me a nudge. Did you tell me it was 2-0 at half time? She said, yeah. I said, what full-time score? She's like, oh my God. I said, what? She's like, Leeds lost 6-1. I was like, what? Gave me the jerk out of bed that I definitely didn't want on a Tuesday morning. But listen, it's bad, isn't it? It's really, really bad. This is your opportunity if you want to come on and have a little vent. If you watched the match last night, I'd be interested to hear from you. Even if not, perhaps we'll have a little look at the highlights or lowlights, whatever you want to call them. It really beggars belief after that Crystal Palace result that it just seems to me that, well, we're developing a pattern, aren't we? We're not too bad in the first half, and then in the second half, we just fall to pieces. And teams seem to come, dominate, or they seem to probe, and don't seem to ask too many questions in the first half. I think they're coming and seeing what Leeds side are we playing against today. We seem to have a few chances. And that's something that we weren't having a few weeks ago. We're creating chances, but we're not finishing. Second half, you get to half time, the opponent goes in. They change a few things around, tweak a few things in their half-time briefing. They come back second half and just let rip. Just let rip at Leeds United. And I honestly don't know. I can't put my finger on it. You can probably put your finger on it better than me. I mean, I've said what I had to say. I did the pre-match video. If you did see that, I'm sure you'll probably agree that I was right. That if we're not careful, we're going to end up on the end of a hiding, and it could end up being a rugby score. And sure enough, it wasn't far off, was it? I mean, 6-1 at home. We've let Liverpool come to Elland Road and beat us 6-1. Now, a lot of other channels have gone into the stats, so I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but when I was looking at it, and it is the same with the Crystal Palace game. They were awful, absolutely awful. They had one win before they came to us, and suddenly they look like a completely different outfit that's chasing Champions League football. And at the minute, the way they're winning under Roy Hodgson, they're going to be finishing ahead of Chelsea. Thankfully. I say thankfully. I mean, unbelievably, Chelsea have got Frank Lampard at the helm. And even the Chelsea fans there saying that they're going backwards. Are Leeds going backwards is my question. The answer is yes. I said it in a couple of videos and live streams now that It's been rumoured or reported that Radzani says that it's impossible to get relegated from the Premier League. And I'm afraid he's going to be proven wrong. We are going to get relegated if we carry on like we are carrying on at the minute. I just don't see how we're going to turn it around in our next fixture. Our next fixture is against Fulham on Saturday the 22nd of April. That one is a lunchtime kick-off, folks. It's 12:30 UK time. That's British summertime to anybody else watching. It's a lunchtime kick-off. We're away down at Craven Cottage. And it's looking increasingly likely that we are in serious trouble now, I think, in this league. And I don't know just how Gracia is going to turn it round. I really don't. I honestly think then, like a lot of the other streamers who make videos, you know, they do the live streams, they do the match reactions, they do the previews, Leeds Bird rants, Just Joe, a couple of others that I watch as well, Leeds Lately, all say the same thing. They need a good kick up the arse, and I honestly think that I'm going to do a pre-match on this one as well. I think we'll go to Fulham and I think we'll get beaten again. I can't see any other result from what's happened. Now, if you go and you say, right, we lost against Liverpool 2-1, you can kind of handle that. And people will say, well, you know, they tried hard, they gave it their all, they were a little bit unlucky, it was this, it was that. Fine, you could kind of stomach it, but to get absolutely battered 6-1, for a lot of Leeds fans, you know, it's hard to take. It's hard to take. Against Arsenal, you think, right, we're going to go down there. We're terrible when we go to London anyway. Our fight isn't with Arsenal. I mean, they're literally, you know, all but over the line for winning the Premier League. So we're likely to get beat. 4-1 was a bad result. You think, okay, we come away from Emirates. Right, okay, they are going to be they are in contention for the Premier League. And then we go to... Then we get Crystal Palace coming up to Elland Road. And you think, right, all the stats are saying we should absolutely batter this lot. They've got a really terrible run. They've had a win. They've got a new manager. You know, they're not that good. They haven't. They can't score goals. They're struggling to find wins. They haven't won back-to-back since November. It's all in our favour. And suddenly... bang, we get hit for 5. Hit for 5 at home. I mean, that it's takes you a week to get over it. You think, oh, Christ's sake, you know, what are we going to do? How are we going to improve it? How are we going to turn it around? We needed them 3 points because the next one could be Liverpool. You watch that second half back of Crystal Palace, you think, if we play like... And I said that in my match preview, the warnings that were there. We turn up like that against Liverpool, we're going to get battered, and ta-da! It was all there for everybody to see, folks. It was all there for everybody to see. I just could not believe it, that how bad things actually are, and we were looking like, all right, we're going to be safe, and even if we're struggling, we're going to be all right on goal difference, but that goal difference is quickly getting whittled away. Don't forget, we're going to have some hard matches coming up before the end of the season. And those matches could mean that the goal difference deteriorates even further. It may seem a little alarmist of me, but I can't see where the points are coming from. Yeah, at the moment, I have to say I agree. Bandy, and I did see that you were in, I think, Leeds Birds rants. I do watch her content, and I saw you leave a couple of comments in there, so good for you. You know, I really think, and it's become so obvious that we're missing Tyler Adams. We're just missing that little bit of extra quality in midfield, and this is why I said we should really take a gamble and field Diaby. He's had a good run in the internationals. He's having a good run in the squads that he's in, the games that he's playing. There are other players as well who are in the development squads that could be considered for the first team. And if you think you're going to get absolutely battered, you've got to take a gamble on these guys and say, these aren't the right players. We're struggling a bit. Let's give them a chance and let's see what they're made of, because we're not likely to win this game anyway. I would have probably done that. I would have probably gambled. But I'm not the manager. Gracia is. I wonder also how Gracia is being advised. Who's advising him? And is that advice any good? It really beggars belief. Our fight is not only with Arsenal but with every club. Yeah, you're right. We have to be trying to pick up a You can't say that we need to go out now with every game with a winning mentality, because we don't have a winning mentality at the minute. We just can't string that number of wins together. We can barely get one win. If we get one win, it's like a miracle. If we beat Fulham on Saturday, it'll be like we're all right. Everybody calm down. But I'll tell you now, this Fulham side, I know Mitrovic is out, but that's going to be a very, very tough place to go. It's a tough place to go, Craven Cottage. Our record in London is shocking anyway. In terms of picking up wins, picking up points. We can't say that we're going to go down there now and win that match. People are, a couple of other people I've been watching say, oh, well, it was a couple of worldly strikes in the FA Cup. No, listen, we aren't good enough. We are not good enough, and we're getting opened up too easily. I'm not sure this is about players. It could be about tactics. Yeah, it could be about tactics. I squarely am leaning towards the players, and I'm just wondering, is Gracia being undermined like Jesse Marsh was? Roy Keane, an old hand, knows the game inside out, said that the Leeds players lost Jesse Marsh's job. And I'm just wondering if there's a bit of that creeping in again into the dressing room, that, there's one or two voices of discontent, a couple of the senior players not happy with Gracia, and they've stopped playing for him. And has he lost the dressing room? And I'm beginning to wonder, after these heavy defeats, is there something else going on? I mean, we've had reports of an argument at half-time at Crystal Palace. Now, those have been played down by a number of sources at the club. But they've obviously come from somewhere, these reports or these rumours. Nobody quite knows how they've got out. But it's not the kind of thing that someone just makes up. Not someone who's credible anyway, or even someone who's not a credible source just makes up out of nowhere or out of a whim. And if that is the case, nobody's addressed it publicly. It's unlikely anybody's going to address it publicly. Football teams are very, very well renowned for trying to keep the business as internal as possible. We don't seem to have a mole at Elland Road, but I'm sure there's probably one, maybe two, who know exactly what's going off, but they're not. Then they are on the verge of saying something. I want them to come out and say it, because if there is a problem between a number of the players, and it's happened in the past. It's happened at other clubs. We can see there is a clip from a long time ago. The Korean footballer Song Min, and he's going absolute. It's him and Lloris in the changing room, and it's that kind of thing that can happen at half time. And suddenly the rest of the players come out. If one of them's taken a few of them have taken the one player's side, some of them have taken the other player's side, some of them are sitting on the bench. The manager's lost control. Has Gracia lost control at Elland Road? And I'm beginning to wonder if that is what is going on. Has he? Are there too many egos in that dressing room? Are there egos in that dressing room? Are people all about themselves and not about the team? And we always have this slogan, don't we, side before self every time. And if that kind of thing is creeping in at Elland Road, it has to be addressed immediately. And these players brought to task. You drop them, you get them in for mediation, and until whatever it is finalised and sorted out. I don't think that we can. In fact, I don't think it's a fact. We can't carry on like we're carrying on. And if we are going to carry on like we are, it's goodbye for the Premier League this season. I'm telling you now, because these are the teams. All right, they're on poor runs at the minute, but who's to say that they don't pick up a couple of miraculous wins? I mean, look at the Bournemouth result the other day against Spurs. It looks like it's all over. I watched that game for the last 10 minutes, and I'm not joking. The fight that Bournemouth put in and the shift that they put in, and they battered Spurs in every department, and Spurs are at home. They give Spurs a real run for the money, and it makes me wonder what's going on with Spurs. They should be They should be in there for the top four, but they've lost it. They've lost their mind. Is the same thing happening at Arsenal? Have the Arsenal players lost their mind? Is everybody losing their mind in this game? It's madness. Jesse Marsch is a fish-eyed fool and possibly mad. You know that his defensive nature is not us. That's why I say it could be the it could be the tactics. It could be the tactics. It's just we said that the Leeds fans didn't deserve that the other night. Now I've just had a look at LUFC Lewis, and he's pumped out a video or two already. One of them is a POV from, I think, the South Stand where he was. I don't know the guy personally, but I do watch his channel, and same thing again. 70 odd minutes, 60 odd minutes. People are leaving. It's noticeable go as the goals go in, and you just sat there and you're thinking, oh God, here we go again. Even the Leeds fans are going to start fighting amongst one another. Who is gonna sort it out? Who's gonna rescue us? Do we need rescuing? Is it Gracia? Is it the players? Is it the backroom staff? Is there something more going on? And I'm beginning to suspect that there is. I really am, because you just can't go out like that. And I was a bit dismissive of Patrick Bamford's interview, and I kind of tried to defend him a little bit. But he's right. People are entitled to leave the stadium at any time, and if things aren't going well, and it's not to their enjoyment, of course you're going to leave. You're not going to continue watching something that you don't enjoy. And it's the same with the movie. isn't it? People go to the movies. They occasionally go into the cinema. They might leave before the end if the film's bad, if it's a bad film. I'm going to have a little look at the highlights of this match because I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the highlights. I don't know what happened. The only thing I know is the goals, the goal scorers. That's about it. So let's have a little look. It's a 2-minute 30-second clip that we're going to watch. Straight away, we've got Salah picks up the ball. He's got in between the midfield and defence. There's nobody picking him up, and it looks like he's about to stroke the ball out, either through to Trent Alexander-Arnold, or I'm not sure who that is. It could be Jota in the middle. So let's have a look. I mean, where are the midfield? Why are they not picking it up? This is on 34 minutes 28 seconds, by the way, and you can see that on the clip. Perhaps I could just show you a still of it. I mean, I don't know if I might be able to get away with that on, you know what. But let's have a little look here. Bournemouth attack Spurs. He who dares wins. Yeah, well, I mean, we said that before, haven't we? We've said that before. It's... Yeah, to hell with it. We're just going to do it. To hell with it. I mean, here we can see Salah. He's picked up the ball. There's 3 here in the midfield. You're just leaving the guy with whatever room he wants. Go ahead, Mohammed, I'm going to stop that one, and then we'll play that. So he does eventually pass it to Alexander-Arnold. I think it's Strauch there who's trying to close him down. Well, he's not even trying to close him down. He's just following the ball. Christensen is trying to get to the back post. And Koch, I mean... There's not even a thought between these defenders. Why don't we try and catch them offside? And it's a simple thing, isn't it? Why aren't we trying to catch them offside if they're running at us like that? If we could step out, let the runner go, and that ball goes across, he's offside, he can stick it at the back of the net, flag goes up, no big deal. Right? No big deal at all. Here's the next still in this sequence. Let's have a look. As you know, the highlights will not tell you what happened. Yeah, I know they won't tell me what... I mean, they'll tell me the goals. That's it. They'll tell me the goals. I just think that that it's a good idea just to have a little look at this in case anybody comes. I mean, we've got Koch there. I don't know what Koch's doing. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's put this ball across now. The ball is actually, I think that's Robin Koch. Christensen, we can see he's way off the pace here. And yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but we'll figure it out in just a second or two. Let's have a look.
Gakpo to tap it.
It's Gakpo. So it's a tap-in. It's a tap-in. It literally is a tap-in, and it's Martin Tyler, I think. And there you have it. 1-0 for the first goal. And didn't I mention the other week, I hope Gakpo doesn't come back to haunt Leeds. I was right again. I'm not doing too bad with these predictions and stuff. Weren't we having a bit of a debate with one of the guys? If you're watching this on catch-up, you could go have a look at the Brighton videos that I made. And I'm not kidding, we got involved in a bit of a ding-dong battle with, a Brighton troll. There's no other way to say it, to describe that. The stuff that guy was saying, I just... And I said at the time, he said something along the lines of, Gakpo will never sign he was never going to sign for Leeds, blah, blah, blah. I was like, mate, the plane was fueled up, ready for him. All he had to do was sign the papers, and he were on his way to Leeds. And he's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit like Messi signing for Brighton. I'm like, what is he on about? What are you talking about? And I quipped, you know, you'd literally have to sell the entire city of Brighton and then some other, or town of Brighton, and some other stuff in order to get anywhere near Messi's transfer fee. He wasn't happy about that. But I thought, I'm not going to take that stick. Anyway, Gakpo's come back. He's haunted us, and that's goal number 1. It's so dearie me. And who's that loses the? There's an appeal for a handball. Yeah. It might be Firpo. Firpo, I think's lost possession there, and he's tried to play a ball that is bad. Yeah. Gakpo's onside. Here comes goal number 2. And I mean, he picks up the ball here. Oh God! I'll just wind that back, because he literally runs like 3/4 of the length of the field. I'll just show you that very quickly. 3/4 of the length of the field. It's literally 3-on-3 at this point.
And Liverpool
Runs 3/4 of the length of the field here. Salah's making a little run. We're all over the place. Firpo doesn't know where he's going to go. Is he going to get drawn in and trying to make a challenge? Is he going to try and track this runner that's on the outside? Let's see the sequence. Yeah, Salah's going to pick this up. He's just going to let it roll past him. Probably just bang it in with left foot. Mellier's positioning is questionable. He should probably be another yard or 2 over to his right hand side over here. He's covering far too much, I think, that back post. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a goalie, but it just seems way off to me. There you go, you see. He takes another step to his right, Meslier, very quickly. He probably gets to that and saves it. And this is the thing that's been called into question, isn't it, recently, with Ilian. His positioning is often quite poor. I will not blame individuals, but even if the tactics are not right, sometimes it's about a collective mental attitude. Yeah, the mental attitude, I'm afraid, collectively, it isn't good enough. It isn't good enough for us to remain in the Premier League. We have completely lost the plot since that Nottingham Forest game. I don't honestly know, like you say, where are these points coming from? What is going on? I mean, this is, if you're paying money to go to watch this, I mean, the Leeds fans are heartbroken. They're absolutely, some of them are in bits. Some of them probably haven't been to work today. With this, it is just diabolical. It is. I just don't know how he's gonna get them to pull the finger out. I really don't. I mean, we lose April the 1st. We lose against Arsenal 4-1. Forest on the 5th of April. It's 2-1. We win that one. I mean, yeah. Crystal Palace. I mean, okay. The Forest game comes after the Arsenal game, but you get my point. 4, 9, what's that? 15 is it? 16 goals we've conceded in April. 9 plus 10, that's 10. Plus in at 16 goals in April. 16 goals we've conceded in April. And over the 2 second halves, we've conceded 4 against Liverpool in the second half. 4 against Palace. We've conceded 8 goals in just 2 halves of football. It is unbelievable. The way that we just seem to have fallen apart since that Forest game. I honestly, it is very, very worrying what's going on. I have a bit of sympathy for Grathia. I think, the guy's doing his best. He's turned it around. He's got us some points. And I think if there is a bit of arrogance creeping in at Elland Road with the players, Orta needs to step down on it, stamp his authority on it. And the way he can do that is stop all the uncertainty with Grathia. And if he believes that we're going to remain in the Premier League, Orta, he needs to put a contract, 1 year minimum, in front of Grathia, and give him the authority to sort this mess out, because he's been left with a lot of nonsense. He's, none of these players are his players that he's got in. I think then we can start planning for next season in the Premier League. At the minute, with this business of a per game contract, there's nothing there's not much Grathia can do. His hands are tied. He doesn't have authority in the club. He doesn't, and the players know that. So if we're on a bit of a downward spiral, you might have 11 men out there on that pitch against Liverpool who really don't give a monkeys, because they don't know what the medium-term plan is. There's no medium-term plan. The short plan is terrible. Short-term plan is terrible. There's no certainty in the club, and I think if we have a bit of certainty, and Orta needs to steady the ship a bit, you stick a contract in front of Grathia and say, look, whatever happens, you're here for the next 12 months. Do you want to stay or not? Can you sort this mess out? And if we get to this time next year, then let's talk about putting you on something a bit better deal, right? I think that's one thing that the club can do to address players' concerns. More importantly, the fans' concerns. It might give the players a bit of a lift. There are going to be players, hopefully, who are in there that like him, that get on well with him. I mean, he seems a likeable guy, a likeable character, but I'm not so sure he's winning the respect of some of these egos in that team at the minute. It just startles me what is going on there. It really does. It's staggering just how bad it really is, and that result. My words. I don't know if I can go on and watch the rest of these highlights. I really don't. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, we can see here, look, we're already getting done here. It's 3 on 3. I mean, just look at that run. Magnificent. Second half comes around. And look, look at that. You see, a little mistake, and we're in. Sinistera. Very good. Well done. We don't need to watch that one again. Here we are again, and this is something, if you listen to Klopp's post-match interview, he was saying that, they doubled up, they tripled up, and even quadrupled up on players, even in the 92nd minute. Liverpool were just dominant. I mean, we look at this side of the pitch here. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7 players, and I think, is that McKennie up there? Well, it's left back, isn't it? It could be Firpo. I mean, I mentioned in the previous game about Firpo's positioning, and it was the same with Ayling. Sending these two guys up, to me, it's just no point. It really is no point. Fine if you want to press the play a little bit, but make sure you've got enough cover in case you get a break on here. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 red shirts versus 2 white shirts ahead of them. And if you're a Leeds fan and you're watching this, I mean, you must be thinking, here comes number 4. What a ball that is. I mean, Christensen's struggling to get there. Everybody's heard it. You know, the thing about the Brighton game was we had structure. Against Forest, we looked like we had a bit of structure. Wolves, we looked like we were structured. The players were maintaining the positioning. We weren't all chasing around after the ball, and this is exactly what's gone on here with Liverpool. You know, we've lost our shape, we've lost our discipline. We're all over the place, and they can literally just cut us open like a hot knife through butter. It is just that bad to watch. It really is. 53 minutes. Oh God, here we go again. I mean, this is the right back position. I think probably. I wonder if Christensen's been taken off here because there's no sign of him in this frame. Gakpo, Salah, and Salah again. He's, you know, put the ball on Salah's feet. He's in the 18-yard box. Here's Firpo. I think he's appealing for offside. He ain't gonna get it. Firpo's play. He looks at him twice, and he's. I mean, what is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, for Christ's sake! Oh my God! It's like a training session, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, honestly, guys, it's. I mean, has it finished yet? 6-1. Is it over? Is it done? Listen, I'll tell you. What? Oh God, what happened then? I've pressed something. Like, has the camera gone off? Shit. Yeah, camera's off. Hold on a second. It's a dodgy connection. Dodgy connection. I found that hard going 2.5 minute video. I you know, 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever it was. Grathia has got no choice. He's gonna have to pick him up. He's gonna have to study Fulham. He's gonna have to get some shape back in that side and stop him from playing this bloody Marsh, Bielsa ball, whatever you want to call it, chasing around after the ball like we have done, and start getting a bit of discipline back into this side, because at the minute we are going all over the place. There's no shape to us. There's no shape. When we're just, it's literally just like watching. It's like watching a bunch of bloody wildebeest in the African plains being chased by a fucking lion. It's not good enough. I mean, they're just all over the place. They're all over the place. There's no shape. There's no structure. There's no communication. You know, anybody who went to that match and had to endure watching that, honestly, you have every bit of my sympathy. Well, it's like this. It's called fair use. You might get away with some of it, and I'm happy to take a chance on it because I'm that angry. I'm that angry. I'm so upset that you know, it's making me think. It's making me think. Am I going to do any more watch-alongs? Am I going to do any more match previews? Because if this is how it's going to be, You know, we're going to sit here and have the same conversation on Saturday afternoon at 2:30. It's as if the good work that we've put in against Wolves, against Forest, Southampton, it's gone out of the window. It has literally gone out of the window. Why on earth are we playing or trying to play this high press, high tempo stuff against sides like Arsenal, against Liverpool? Even flaming Crystal Palace can come to Ellen Road and stick 5 past us, and they've done nothing since November. Liverpool the same. I did see some sort of stat, and if I can recover the stat, if I can recover it, I'll tell you what it is. It was something along the lines of Liverpool have scored 1 goal in 59 attempts away from home. This lot weren't even scoring goals. They haven't scored goals this year. They've been absolutely... apart from that Man United game, they've been terrible away from home. Absolutely terrible. They come to Ellen Road and literally we're just rolling out the red carpet for them, sticking up the white flags, waving them around a bit and just saying, come on. Welcome to Ellen Road. Fill your boots, take the 3 points, and do your goal difference a favour as well. Makes me pig sick. Pig sick. I know what you mean about not blaming players. But we have to start. Is it the Max Wober effect? Is it Max Wober on the pitch who said to these players, maintain your position, because if you go out of position here, we're going to get done. We're going to get done over, and there ain't enough cover for us. It's the same. It's literally the same. We're going backwards. We are going backwards. Gracia has got to get this stuff addressed. These are my opinions, right? If you are watching on VOD, it's video on demand, right? I understand. Always nice to hear from you. You're taking it, yeah. Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Long live BLC. Even after a loss, people would leave the stadiums feeling entertained. Yeah. Well, we're not entertained. Nobody's amused, and nobody's laughing. It's that bad. It is that bad. I just think that now is the time that we don't have a choice now. We're gonna have to step up to the mantle. We're gonna have to step up to the plate, and try and do something against Fulham. Hope that we go down there and get 3 points. Because I'll tell you, the rest of the fixtures for that particular day. And in fact, it starts Friday the 21st, and it's Southampton against Arsenal. Well, I mean, anything could happen in that match. The way Arsenal seem to have fallen apart over the last 2 games, I'd stick a cheeky fiver on Southampton winning that, and it's at the Emirates. Villa, Brentford, Everton and Crystal Palace. I mean, you'd hope that Palace will go there and do something and get, put another nail in the Everton coffin. Leicester and Wolves. I mean, Jesus Christ. And Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Sundays, Bournemouth, West Ham, Newcastle and Tottenham. I mean, how we're not in the bottom 3, I don't know. Tuesday the 25th is Leicester. Alright, Tuesday the 25th is Leicester. I just think... honestly, we are in some big trouble. We are in some real deep trouble here. Here's the fixtures. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Maybe if you're on a mobile device, maybe you're finding them a bit difficult to read. Let's have a look. Yeah, those are the ones I've just talked about. Starts there Friday. So between now and the end of this month, we've got Fulham. Then we're playing again, I think, then on Tuesday. Yeah, Leicester, Tuesday at home. Oh, dearie me. I mean, just look at these. Forest and Brighton. I mean, you got to be hoping for Brighton. We're now starting. We are relying now on other teams, quote unquote, doing us a favour. We can't survive in the Premier League that long. The luck's going to run out, and we'll end up sucked into the bottom three, and it'll be bye Leeds. I can see it coming on the last weekend. We got away with it last year. This year we were. I don't think we will. I really don't. Brentford, Forest, again. Palace and West Ham on the 29th. Then we go to Bournemouth on the 30th. I mean, what day is it today? 18th. And we've got all them fixtures before the end of the season. And other teams must be just sat there ticking the box and saying, "Oh, we're going to be all right. We're facing Leeds United," you know. Bournemouth will certainly be thinking that. And I mean, Bournemouth's performance against Tottenham, they were outstanding against Tottenham. Really, really gritty, hard-fought, powerful, accurate performance. And if that's the kind of opposition we're going to be coming up against, we are in big trouble. I've said it already, we're in big trouble. I don't know. If you want to join me, of course. Let's have a little look. I'm going to just put a couple of these on there. Yeah, I was joking about that. Is there a backroom problem that we don't know about? I think I kind of alluded to that already. I think there's probably something a bit more going on. We just don't seem to be working or playing for each other. The tracking back is terrible. We're getting caught again, high up the pitch, and we're just not defending. Again, if you listen to Klopp's interview following that match, Klopp said, it starts with defence, and he also said that we're not here. We're here to win this match. But the way he said, it's not what he said; it's how he said it. And he's told them Liverpool players, you get out there and you absolutely pummel this lot in the second half. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Who is to blame? Tell me your thoughts. A lot of fans will be pointing at Orta. They'll be pointing at Radzani. Some will be saying, it's Grathia. Other folk like me, everyone says buck stops with the manager. Yes, it does. And if that's true, the manager's got to be giving him a kick and saying, you start prioritising defending, start prioritising shape, start doing the basics and doing them well again. Because at the minute, we're not doing none of that stuff. I mean, I just looked at that game there. If I had to sit there and watch Firpo and Christensen, and they were performing like that for 90 minutes, I honestly don't think I could have stayed to watch that, especially not after the Palace game. It's putting the whole buyout thing in jeopardy. The 49ers, they might be quite happy for us to go down. They're going to pick Leeds United up at a cut price. How can we get so bad so quickly? This is a question. I've thought of these questions, but you might have other questions. You might think that you know more than me. The only saving grace is that all the fans from the clubs at the bottom feel the same about their clubs as we feel about ours. Yeah. I agree with that. there are a lot of fans out there. The Leicester fans, from what I can gather, they're all pretty much resigned to going down. The Everton fans are pretty much there. They think that they're on the way already. And there is a pattern developing in the Premier League amongst those bottom 4 teams. We're not there yet, but we're in grave danger. I'll tell you, we are in grave danger that if we get sucked in there and these other teams, you only need one other team to start picking up results now, picking up a couple of points, and we're going to be getting sucked into it if we don't do something urgently. The alarm bells, the sirens are ringing. We're in trouble. And Bandy, I always appreciate you, man, when you come in. It's nice when someone comes in and chats. And I don't know who's done it, but the channel's got a subscriber today. So, I'm quite happy about that. 24 to 25 is a big step. Everybody or anybody who presses that subscribe button, I appreciate you. A like button as well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I tell you, I had to sleep for 2 months after the end of last season. I know the feeling. I can see it in my mind. Rafinha doing Christ knows what at the end of that match. I mean, that guy was amazing, wasn't he? What a guy. I mean, is there any possibility of him coming back? I don't think there is. Barcelona aren't going to let him come back at a cut price. He's gone there. They're not happy with him, or they haven't been happy with him. But Spanish football is a fickle game. It's much more fickle than our game. And if he's in, we know what Rafinha's all about. And if he's in a team that he just doesn't fit in the system, sorry, but it's his boyhood club, and that's where he wanted to play. That's where he got the chance to play, and that's who he signed the contract for. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Simple as that. I honestly, guys, I'm gutted with it. I'm just gutted. Gutted. We're gonna have to. I think Gracias tried the softly approach with them after Crystal Palace. I think, to be quite honest with you, they need a good shake. The lot of them. They all need a good shake, a good bit of motivation. Get back to doing the basics right. Get back to doing them well. Get back to doing what they're getting paid to do. A lot of them... I don't want to talk about the money and all that sort of stuff. It's been mentioned elsewhere, but I want to see some pride, and I want to see a performance that's worthy of putting a Leeds United shirt on, because the fans deserve it. The fans deserve it more than anything. And the points, I think the points will then start to come. Have we lost our mind? Have we lost confidence? We're going to have to... It's time to dig deep and find yourselves now, because we've had some bad wins here. The goal difference has taken a beat, a pummeling. And, it's now or never. Dig deep. Search your souls after this beating from Liverpool. And ask yourselves, am I worthy of putting a Leeds shirt on? And this message is to the players. Are you worthy of putting a Leeds shirt on? Do you think you've got what it takes to compete for this club in the Premier League? And if you haven't, do you think you've got what it takes to compete in the Championship? If the answer is yes to that second question, you shouldn't be wearing a Leeds shirt on the next time we play, which is against Fulham. Tell Gracia I'm not up to it. Do us all a favour and let someone who wants to try hard for the team have your position in the starting 11, because it isn't acceptable. It is not acceptable, these performances and these results. And it's another one for Gracia as well. He's going to have to give them all a shake, the lot of them. because we just can't continue like that. We can't. If we go down to Fulham, we don't score, and we concede another few goals, 3, 4, 5 goals. We are in a real precarious spot, and it's going to be hard for us to get out. We're not going to get out of that spot. You know, under Bielsa, I love Bielsa, but the goal difference that second season was diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. How we survived, I'll never know. Will we go down this season? I think I've answered that question. This is my opinion. It's in our own hands. It is still in our own hands, but we're going to have to start showing up. And showing up means getting out there and getting off that team bus when you arrive wherever you're arriving, at Elland Road, Craven Cottage or wherever. And we've got to go to these places believing that we're going to win the 3 points, and we're going to go and win. And points are the only thing to save us. Right, I think enough is enough. It's enough of my rant. If you are watching on VOD and you are new to the channel, of course, you know what to do. If you enjoyed it, maybe you agree, disagree, I will always answer your comments, whether I agree with them or not. I'll let you know, I don't mind. And I'll leave a little recommendation up here if you want to watch something else on my channel. Take care, have a great day, and let's roll on to the next one. Marching on together.